99.9%. My friend Naomi wants to know if you like pizza.
I love pizza. Meat lovers is my favorite. And the more protein on top, the better.
What's your favorite pizza place to get pizza from?
At this point, that would be Monteria in San Francisco. Because we've made that now a little bit of a date site.
Yeah, we have it on our relationship bucket list to try every dipping sauce they have for their pizzas, and it's a Death-owned and run restaurant. So, yeah, I get to use
good people, good pizza. It's great atmosphere, and Crystal with her ASL, she gets to practice it, and it's always cool to watch her interact with them.
Naomi's mom would like to know if you like to travel as much as I do. Does anybody though? I mean,
I do like to travel.
He does.
I do like to travel.
Which is good. Because
we're going to be doing a lot of travel.
Also, he lives in San Francisco. Had he not met me, he's like, I probably would have just stayed in my room and stared at a wall all the time. But I've made him go to Fresno, Bakersfield for a concert, to McGraw Faith, and then Monterey.
Tim McGraw Faith. First concert, country music concert I've ever gone to.
Mm-hmm.
And we went there the day after we were boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of a fun celeb. It was a fun celebrative activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've to Lake Tahoe, which is where we're recording this right now, and then Cayucas. That's
a cool place.
Harmony, Morro Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if he didn't love traveling, he hopefully would by now. What are your hobbies?
My claim to fame is electronics. I'm an electrical engineer, so by trade, but it's also my passion, and so I own a small side business that does design work for consumer product-ish kind of electronics mainly, and it's software coding. And then more hands-on stuff, it'd be whittling, woodworking, handyman stuff. I love fixing things, love working on cars, love working on anything that's got a motor or an engine on it. So
he likes cooking and photography. He has a drone.
Yeah, yes.
When are we going to the UK?
I don't know. It's gonna be our people have to talk to you people again.
I'll text you. Actually, I don't have your number, and you live in the UK, so I'll message you if we do. How about that?
I do some international travel for work, so we can maybe work it out sometime if that works.
Is he worthy of the awesomeness that is you? Asks my friend Jan.
This is gonna be a Crystal question.
Yeah. Yes.
She's pretty awesome, and
you're awesome.
I think I feel really lucky every day to be able to. I gotta put a ring on the finger. I guess if you like it, you gotta put a ring on it.
I did. So what active role does he have in his church? So, he lives in San Francisco. He's from Ohio, and he goes home a lot because, it's his family. And his brother works for an airline, so he's able to do that. And also, he comes to town to Fresno every other weekend. So, he goes to a church there, but he also goes to a church in Fresno with me. So I would say, really, he's not like a deacon or like a greeter or anything.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not at a church enough to be in the any leadership roles.
Yeah, but what I would say is, which is of equal importance, he's in the phase of getting to know my people that at this church I've gone to my whole life, and he's making those relationships with them. When did you know it was meant to be?
I'm gonna put a ring on the finger.
I said yes. It's meant to be if she says yes.
See, I'm really bad at keeping secrets. So she kind of knew.
That's an understatement of the year.
She kind of knew what was going on before it even happened. But, yeah. Well, if she told her side of the story, she already knew what she was going to say and made provisions.
Prohibitions? What does that mean?
You got a dress?
Oh! So I knew he was going to propose.
We can cut this out.
No, it's fine. Let's keep this going. I knew he was going to propose because he's terrible at hints. And my best friend said certain things. My mom said certain things. But mostly, it was all him. I knew. Beyond others, like, really, the stuff my mom and my best friend said were because I was like, I know this is happening, guys. This is what he said. This is the hints he was dropping. This is blah, blah, blah. So, he eventually dropped that he bought a ring. And I was like, Mom, he bought a ring. And she goes, well, you know what you're saying, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm saying yes when it happens. She goes, okay, let's go look at David's bridal dresses. And so we went that night, and I was there for 3.5 hours or 4.5. I don't know. I was there a long time, and I bought a dress.
She said yes to the dress.
I said yes to the dress. Of course, I said yes to that guy.
To the question.
Yeah.
When did I know?
Mm-hmm.
So, there was this day that I was very, very sick. Very, very sick. And I was texting Crystal saying how sick I was and how miserable I was. And, like, I didn't even want to go out and get food, but I knew I needed to eat because if I don't, I'm going to feel even worse. And she literally said, don't go. Don't leave your house.
Check the door in 30 minutes.
Check the door in 30 minutes. And on that doorstep, in less time, there was a huge pint of chicken noodle soup and a couple cans of Sprite. And I was like, that woman is amazing. I was tearing up about it.
So it's interesting because he's the more emotional one out of us too. I mean, not that I'm emotionless, but I say I have a frozen. I always say I have a frozen heart. He always denies it, but anyway, he tears up a lot. But it's adorable. It's fine. It's healthy, and so yeah. Well, I mean, I guess for me, like, there were different like moments where I was like, oh, like this could be a thing, like. So when I realized I wanted to be his girlfriend, we were in Cayucas, and it was, I don't know if you call them dates or get-togethers or...
Because every one of our dates were days long.
Yeah, because he'll come to, like, Fresno and stay with me and my family for the weekend, because he lives 3.5 hours away, so it's not really convenient for him to come for, like, a 3-hour date and then go back. So he would stay for 2 days or 3 days, and that's what he still does. And so the third date, my mom and I rented a condo in Cayucas, and he came and stayed with us, and that was like 3 days or so, and
it was 3 amazing days.
3 amazing days. And so, like, we were standing on outside in the balcony, and it's oceanfront, so we have a strong breeze coming in. And so I was thinking in my head, like, oh, I'm getting chilled. I should go get, like, a blanket and wear a jacket. And I didn't say anything. I wasn't giving indicators I was cold. But he goes inside, and I'm like, okay. And then he comes back out, and he put a blanket around my shoulders. And I knew that's when I wanted to date him, like, long term.
And then when did you know that you were going to say yes?
Okay, so I knew I was going to say yes when he made me mad. Well, you know, like, because I was like,
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because that was when you knew it was time. Okay, because, so, he and I were on the phone. He was in Ohio talking to me, and we were talking about, I don't know how this even came up, but Christmas and stuff. And early in the relationship, we made the decision that as long as we're just boyfriend-girlfriend, we're not splitting holidays. He'll go home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the big ones. And, but once we get engaged, we'll talk about splitting up, trying to figure out how it'll work in families. And so we're on the phone, and he's like, yeah, so I'll be home for Thanksgiving because, like, my birthday falls in around there, and then I can be home for Thanksgiving. And then he goes, and I promised my mom I'd be home for Christmas. And I thought, oh, no, he didn't. I was like, because he kind of was dropping hints, like he wanted to get married and wanted to get engaged, and I was like, We were
We were talking about it.
We're talking wedding stuff. We were talking wedding stuff before I had a dress, before there was a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, he didn't. Like, if he's going home for Thanksgiving or Christmas and not consulting me on this, then we're not getting engaged this year. And it made me mad. And I was borderline about to say, boy, if you're not planning to propose this year, stop talking about weddings with me. We're cutting that off. And that's when I knew. And then I eventually told him that. That made me frustrated. And that's when he knew I was ready.